Everybody, let me talk to you for just a minute about what I think, not a minute, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, about what I think is a rather silly point that is sometimes made about the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. So naturally, we're here playing a better game. So let's just load in. So there's something going on in the background while I'm talking to you about this. The background that you need for this video is how leveling works. Quiet, Radis. The background you need to know to understand this video is how leveling works in Oblivion and Morrowind. Basically, you have a number of different skills. Each skill is governed by an attribute. And when you level up one of those attributes, one of those skills, it contributes towards your next level up being able to increase that attribute more. So for example, if you increase your athletics a bunch, then when you level up, you'll be able to increase your speed by more. So this is a bit complicated by the fact that it's taking a long time to load because I'm running a silly number of mods on a PC that I should upgrade. But this is complicated somewhat by the fact that you can only level up, or rather you're kind of forced to level up to a certain degree, when you get a certain number of advancements in your major skills. And the problem with that is that you can get what's sometimes called an inefficient level up. So these are my major skills, these are my minor skills. Let's say I increase destruction 5 times and speechcraft 5 times. That would then result in me having 10 total progress. Oh, sorry, I'm cutting my side of my screen off. There we go. 10 total progress towards a level up. And then you try and level up. But what you need to actually get is 10 levels for the same governing attribute in one level to get the most increase to your primary stats. So what you can do, if you want, is, let me just give you a bigger camera, you can track it, right? You can write down how many levels up did you get in stats controlled by intelligence, and how many did you get in things by speed, and things like that. And you can do, as I have on this particular character, because I enjoy it, not because it's necessary, a rather efficient level up, meaning that you increase your attributes at the fastest rate per level that it is plausible to do without wasting increases on skills that you're not planning to increase that level. Now that's all a bit complicated. You don't need to worry about the technicals of how it works too much to understand this video. Let me show you one take on that system, which is that you have essentially 4 options. And this comes from a YouTuber called Patrician TV, who makes some quite good videos on games. I infer some slightly weird opinions that he has from some other things he says, but that's not the topic of the video, so don't worry about it. But yes, he makes some good videos on games, and he has some enjoyable retrospectives on Oblivion, Morrowind, and Skyrim. I haven't actually seen his Oblivion one yet, but I'm sure it's good, because the other two are. I haven't watched it because I'm trying to do a blind playthrough, more or less blind playthrough of Morrowind. But so his Oblivion one talks about your 4 kind of options that you have in Oblivion specifically. You can either min-max, which is more or less what I'm doing there, which is trying to get the most possible attributes out of the levels. You can try and minimize how much you level. And the idea here is if you don't level, the enemies in the world don't level with you, and hence they don't get any stronger relative to you. You can ignore leveling, meaning just kind of don't worry about it, just go about your day. Or you can macro or console level, essentially cheat in order to mean that you get the benefit of min-maxing, but without some of the effort involved. Obviously, macro is less cheaty than console, at least in my humble opinion, but there you go. And he says a few things. It is in no way necessary to min-max to complete all Morrowind content. Clearly true, in my opinion. In Oblivion, trainers become necessary because of leveled content. And by trainers here, he doesn't mean, at least I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean trainers in the game. He means, the use of things like macro and console leveling and stuff like that. And the existence of this dichotomy, he says, exists because of Oblivion's leveled content. If you're not familiar, in Oblivion and in Skyrim, when you level up, the enemies most of the enemies, almost all of them really, I think, get stronger as well. And that's much, much less true in in Morrowind. It is still true in Morrowind, but for a much, much smaller portion of the enemies. So the case is this. The leveling system is broken, and I'm trying to present this as fairly as possible. The leveling system is broken because you have to do one of these 4 things. Min-maxing and macro console leveling aren't fun, minimal leveling artificially restricts you out of lots of the content and lots of the levels in Oblivion. And if you ignore leveling, the enemies will, in his words in the video, inevitably get to a point where they're one-shotting you in the game. You basically can't do it. I don't think he literally says you can't do it, but he certainly strongly implies that you can't just ignore leveling. The game becomes unplayable. Counter argument. This game came out when I was about 10, Oblivion, that is. And I played it to completion a couple of times between the ages of 10 and 12. I didn't know what a wiki was at the time, so I didn't use any wikis. I didn't use any macro or console leveling. I didn't do minimal leveling. I leveled plenty. I didn't know how the leveling system really worked, so I certainly didn't min-max. I didn't really ignore it. Like, I realized, oh, maybe I should focus on trying to do this skill, this level, because maybe I'll get some more points. So I didn't really ignore leveling. So this dichotomy is just kind of wrong, because the game's easy. Like, I played on probably whatever the normal level was. And maybe it's true that you have to min-max or do one of these in order to play at the very highest difficulty level. I don't think that's his point. If it is, so what? That's a nothing burger. Obviously, you have to min-max in order to play at the maximum level. It's the whole point of the maximum level of difficulty in games. But children, literal, like, single-digit age children beat this game when it came out without doing any of these 4 things. So what the hell are you talking about? It's baffling to me. Am I missing something? I would love to hear if I'm missing something. I don't think I am. And that's basically the whole video. That's all I wanted to say. It's said that the leveling system is so broken that you have to do one of these 4 things in order to actually play the game. You just don't. It's just wrong. It's just obviously wrong, which is bizarre to me. I mean, maybe I'm reading other people's intentions, causes of other people's intentions here, which is a bit strange, but maybe I'm thrown off by that. But it seems like he has this disdain for the changes from. He doesn't hate Oblivion, so he says, which is fair enough. I'm happy to believe him. But it seems that he has this disdain for the leveling system changes from Morrowind to Oblivion, with the main one being that you couldn't use trainers infinitely per level, which is a really bad change, to be clear, and I'm not saying it isn't. That he goes way over the top on trying to make this grand thesis about you have to do these 4 things, and you can't play without, the leveling system. It breaks the game fundamentally, and it just doesn't, because the game's easy, and you can play, like, children beat it easily. So that's the whole video. It's not a grandiose point, but there you go. I'm going to go back to using macros to level in Morrowind. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.